Hello everyone, let's see part 16 of Mahabharat. Yudhishthira asked Bhima to get Arjuna and Draupadi safely to the city outskirts, and the three of them would be waiting for them. Bhima agreed to it. Yudhishthira left the place with his brothers. Duryodhan said it's a pre-plan of Maharaj Drupad to insult the kings by showcasing a Brahmin's ability in the Swayamvara event. Shakuni asked Duryodhan and Dusyasan to attack the Brahmins. Arjuna said they must not attack Brahmins, it would be a great sin. Still, Duryodhan wanted to attack them and said Brahmin lifted a weapon and completed the Swayamvara task, so it will not become a great sin to attack them. Bhima, who was in a Brahmin's attire, showcased his abilities by breaking the stage. Then Karna stopped Duryodhan and said, Arjuna won the task. It would be treated as an inability if they attack the winner of the Swayamvara. Then Duryodhan agreed to him and they left to Hastinapur. Shakuni was so angry on Karna. Yudhishthira was waiting for the new couple and Bhima at the city outskirts with his brothers. But they took a long time to reach. Yudhishthira asked Bhima why did they take too long. Then Bhima told what exactly happened in the event. Finally, they reached the home. Yudhishthira asked new couple to enter first and meet their mother Kunti. But Kunti was still in the middle of the puja. Arjuna asked her to see what he did get. But Kunti did not even turn back towards Arjuna and asked him whatever he got, whether it is a donation or a punishment, whatever it may be, share among his brothers. Pandavas were very shocked by her words. Kunti's puja is done. She turned back and looked at Arjuna, who was in a groom's attire, and a bride, Rajakumari. Arjuna and Yudhishthira showcased their anger and depression on Kunti and conveyed that Arjuna got Rajakumari Panchali by winning the task in the Swayamvara event. Then bride left the place. Kunti ran towards Draupadi and felt regret that all that was happened was unexpectedly. Draupadi showcased her anger on Kunti. Kunti said she ordered her sons unknowingly. Now she will withdraw her order so that she can get married to Arjuna only. And she left the place. Kunti met her sons and said she will withdraw her order. But her sons Pandavas said she can withdraw her order, but she can't withdraw her words. Arjuna got Rajakumari as a donation from Maharaj Drupad. That's what she asked to share among the five. So Yudhishthir told 4 of them have decided to take sannyasa and move out of the new couple. And Arjuna will marry Draupadi. Arjuna went to Draupadi and asked her to marry his elder brother Yudhishthira, and other 4 of them will take sannyasa. But Draupadi was so angry on him and told she has seen his abilities and married him. She don't even know about his caste, his brothers' names also. She don't know any other details of Arjuna. Karna also tried to win the task on behalf of Duryodhana. But now, what's the big difference between Arjuna and Karna? Also, she said that Arjuna don't have enough rights to sacrifice her for any of his brothers. Then Arjuna asked Draupadi to travel back to her place. Draupadi asked him who will marry her now. Arjuna felt regret for all that was happened and left the place. Draupadi had a look at Krishna's gift of 5 marble stones and recollected his words. She decided to marry Pandavas so that no one need to take sannyasa. So she went to Kunti, who was with her sons, and said that she decided to marry 5 of them. But everyone were in a shock. She said she decided to lead her life like a tapasya by marrying 5 of them. Then immediately Drupad reached there with Drishtadimna and shocked by the decision. Drupad misunderstood Brahmins and shouted at them and took Draupadi to his place. Pandavas and Kunti felt so bad by Drupad's words. Drupad reached the kingdom with Draupadi and Drishtadimna and asked his army to remove all the decoration and conveyed that marriage is not going to happen now. Pandavas wants Yudhishthir to marry Draupadi and the rest wanted to take a sannyasa. Then one rishi reached the Pandavas' place and said, if Draupadi itself is ready to marry 5 of them, then what's their problem to marry? Also, he told that brainstorming with heart and deciding with intellect is adharma. Kunti told she decided to go back to Hastinapur with her sons and Yudhishthir to retake his position not for luxury but for the people's sake. The rishi supported her. Also, he advised 5 of them to marry Draupadi and lead their life as a tapasya and reach Hastinapur and support Yuvraj Yudhishthir, and it's their responsibility being a brothers of a Yuvraj. It's an impossible situation, so solution is also making impossible into possible. Normally it's a adharma, but now it will become dharma for Pandavas. Then Bhima and Nakul, who was arguing with the Rishi, thinking that it's a adharma to marry their elder brother's wife, they got convinced by Rishi's words and finally 5 of them decided to marry Draupadi. Then Rishi left the place. Pandavas with Kunti reached Drupad's place. Drupad and Drishtadimna were starting to attack Pandavas, thinking they are Brahmins and they made his daughter suffer. Pandavas tried to explain the situation, but Drupad was not in a position to listen to their words. He was in a full of fire. He tried to kill Pandavas, but then Krishna reached the place and conveyed that they are Pandavas who were taken Brahman attire due to some reasons, and the Brahman who won the task is none other than the bride which Drupad accepted, that is, the best archer Arjuna. Drupad took some time to identify Arjuna and he misunderstood Pandavas and he said that they are the reason for Draupadi's suffering. Then Krishna was so angry on Drupad and said, They are not the reason, but Drupad himself is the main reason for all the suffering of Draupadi. Drupad was shocked. Krishna asked Drupad to recollect the chosen qualities of his daughter in the yajna. Then Drupad recollected all the qualities of his daughter which he has chosen, and he felt regret. Then finally he accepted Pandavas and listened the reason behind their decision, and finally agreed Pandavas marrying Draupadi. Pandavas and Kunti entered their place. Krishna met Draupadi who was troubleshooting with who was brainstorming with a deep sorrow. Krishna questioned her whether she is happy with her decision. But she replied she is not happy, and she bursted out and said she has seen Krishna's gifted marbles and decided, thinking that he also wanted to marry five of them. He also wanted her to marry five of them. And then she had to decide as such. Then Krishna replied he did not suggest her to marry five of them, but wanted to remember five proofs of Dharma and then to decide. Also, he told Draupadi decided with heart. Marrying five people is anyway it's adharma, and it will be adharma also. But for her it will be dharma. Since she considered all possible situations and finally decided to marry five of them, so it is dharma. So Krishna told that her life will be the hardest, but she had to be strong, she has to be strong, and her life will be so hardest than any other. Then Draupadi, who was so depressed, got convinced by Krishna's words and agreed to him. Krishna promised Draupadi that whenever she is in a trouble, when she need a helping hand, she can seek his help. Immediately he will be there and he will help her. Draupadi was happy with Krishna's promise. Shakuni told Duryodhana that he wanted to move to his kingdom since there is no place for him in Hastinapura. Duryodhana said Shakuni already promised him that he will leave Hastinapur once Duryodhana's Rajyabhishekam is done. But Shakuni replied that Duryodhana's Rajyabhishekam won't be happen. Karna told he himself can let Duryodhana's Rajyabhishekam happen by using his strengths and capabilities. But Shakuni told Karna moves like a pendulum between dharma and friendship. So he don't have enough confidence levels on Karna. Then Karna replied that the people who follows dharma will only be successful. Then Shakuni told if Yudhishthira plans to come Hastinapur, then he will definitely replace Duryodhana. Then Duryodhana seeked Shakuni's advice. Shakuni advised that before Pandavas reach Hastinapura, Duryodhana's Rajabhishekam has to be done, and he has to become the Samrat of Hastinapura. And they should not reveal the fact that Pandavas and Kunti are still alive. Pandavas are ready to marry Draupadi. Yudhishthira told Drupad that every year one of their brothers will be the husband of Draupadi, and the rest all brothers restricted to enter into Draupadi's palace, and everyone decided to lead their life as a tapasya. But Shikandini asked Pandavas whether if they marry any another lady, then what would be her sister's position? Then Bhima replied that they will not get any of their other wives to Draupadi. Only Draupadi will stay with them. Then Pandavas married Draupadi. Meanwhile, Shakuni told all the rumors to Dhritarashtra. He told that Drupad insulted Hastinapura's kings by planning all the seating positions at the corner of the Swayamvara event, and he did not show enough gesture, and he did not even treat them as the kings. Then Dhritarashtra was so angry on Drupad. Duryodhana planned for Ashwamedha Yaga. He tried to kill a horse, but Dhritarashtra stopped him. Gandhari asked Duryodhana who gave the approval to do the yagna. Then Duryodhana replied, Maharaj Dhritarashtra is just sitting as a samrat, and he is not capable to fight with anyone, and he can't even participate in the battle. Then what is the use of him sitting in the samrat position? That is the reason he wanted to make a Ashwamedha Yaga to become the Samrat of Hastinapura. Duryodhan asked his mother Gandhari to make him the Samrat of Hastinapura, else he will definitely do Ashwamedha Yaga, else he will definitely leave his body. He forced his parents to make him the Samrat of Hastinapura. But Dhritarashtra had to plan for Duryodhan's Rajabhishekam. Meanwhile, Draupadi's family and Krishna gave send-off to Pandava's family. Draupadi conveyed Krishna that she will definitely save Dharma, keeping 5 proofs of Dharma. Krishna was so happy for her, and they started to Hastinapura. Everyone reached the Sabha Mandap for Duryodhan's Rajabhishekam except Vidura and Bhishma. Mahamuni asked Dhritarashtra to pause Rajabhishekam and wait for Bhishma's presence. But Maharaj replied that no need to wait for him, and he tried to keep his throne on Duryodhana. Then Bhishma reached the Sabha Mandap and he stopped him. Dhritarashtra said Yudhishthira is not alive, so he had to plan for Duryodhana's Rajabhishekam. And he asked Bhishma not to insult Duryodhana by stopping the Rajabhishekam. Dhritarashtra said Pandava's family is still alive. Bhishma said Pandava's family is still alive. And Vidur went to get them to Hastinapura. Duryodhan said, what is the proof? It has been an year and there is no news of Pandavas being alive. And how can he trust him now in the middle of Rajabhishekam? And he asked him to give them a particular time, whether a month or an year, to wait for the Pandavas' return. Then suddenly they could able to hear the sound of a conch in the middle of a Sabha Mandap. Bhishma said he no need to wait for an year or an hour, not even a few minutes. Pandava's family reached Hastinapura, and Bhishma has taken Dhritarashtra to the entrance of the palace. Now everyone can able to see Pandavas and their family being alive. So this is what about part 16. In the next class we'll see part 17 of Mahabharat.